New York Country 1039 KGRT, Zach Brown Band, and Keep Me in Mind.
Time now for the question of the day.
Yes, it is indeed question of the day time. And this one might have you thinking a little bit about what's going on these days. Because I saw a little story that was talking about how American workers in almost every profession are becoming less honest and ethical. Yeah. According to a new Gallup poll, about 800 people were asked to rate the honesty and ethical standards of people in 23 different fields, and Americans viewed all professions except one as less ethical than they did in recent years. The only exception was labor union leaders, which, blew my mind because, history of unions, I'll just put it that way. But that saw a slight rise in honesty. If you're wondering which professions were the most ethical, nurses have the highest ethical rating at 78%, but that's down from 89% in 2020. But we all know why it was up in 2020, okay? Nurses have held the top rating for 22 consecutive years, but everybody else is down. And on the lowest on the list, believe it or not, journalists at 19%, senators at 8%, and members of Congress in general at 6%. That's not too surprising. So my question for you, thinking about ethics and honesty in your everyday life right there, have you noticed, is there a lack of ethics in everyday life? That is my question of the day for you today. And like I said, it's going to make you think a little bit, but go ahead and let me know your answers by giving me a call or sending me that text message, 575-523-KGRT. We are live on our social media pages as well, so you can leave comments on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But go ahead and let me know what your answer is to our question of the day. Just got the text message in, and it says, yes, most definitely there is a lack of ethics and honesty. I tend to agree with that. I really do. But let me know, have you noticed it? Is there a lack of ethics in your everyday life? Go ahead and let me know your answers to our question of the day. Okay, we are clear there, and clear there. So, exclusively up on our social media pages here. And you know what? As crazy as the world is, and maybe since the pandemic or anything else like that, but I personally think that there is maybe a little bit less ethics, a little bit less honesty, a little bit less in our principles, kind of in general, at least that I've noticed. Now, I say that, but I don't notice it every day. I notice it every once in a while. So in my daily life, I don't feel like that really comes into play. But, every once in a while, I see that. And I'm not perfect by any means. Goodness, no, I'm not perfect. But I have noticed it just a little bit. But what do you think about that? Give me your answers. Is there a lack of ethics in everyday life that you have noticed there? Once again, might make you think a little bit, but leave your comments down below, and maybe we'll have a pretty good discussion up there. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see what's going on in and around the world. I saw that Travis Kelce is donating 25,000 hot breakfast meals to students in Kansas City. That is awesome. He's actually partnering with a nonprofit organization, Operation Breakthrough, to make that donation. So that is pretty darn awesome there. And, if you're thinking about getting over to the big game, which is in Vegas this year, if you don't have your rooms booked right now, they are raising the rates for the big game. So hotels on the Vegas Strip, $200 to $300 per night. Yeah. Which, considering for what's going on right there, not a bad rate. Of course, if anybody was planning to get there, they would have had their rooms all set up to get the best prices, I think. Let's see. Elon Musk is $82 billion less rich today. Yesterday, his shares of Tesla dropped by about 12%. Yeah, it cost him $82 billion. That's a lot of money. And, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I saw this very interesting. Chicago's Brookfield Zoo is once again offering a unique event for the Valentine's Day. The Cockroach and Champagne Gala allows visitors to name a cockroach after someone special and then watch it being fed to a meerkat. I don't know about that. That's a little bit on the gruesome side, I guess, a little bit. But, maybe an X. I think we've all been there on that one. Once again, we are looking for answers for our question of the day. Might make you think a little bit. But I read an article talking about honesty and ethics in today's world, and the new Gallup poll said that basically all the people, with the exception of one profession, and all the professions are less honest and ethical these days. And some of the lowest, to no surprise, journalists, senators, and members of Congress. And their members of Congress got 6%. That is really, really low. And of course, our most ethical people are our nurses out there, which we all appreciate. And so I want to know what you think. Have you noticed if there is a lack of ethics in everyday life? Ethics, honesty, principles, that kind of thing. Go ahead and let me know your answers to our question of the day. You can call them in. You can text them in, 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. And as always, you can just leave your comments down below. And I love reading some of those comments later. I actually had somebody question my grammar yesterday when I was typing something. I noticed it. I corrected it within a few minutes, but they were right on top of it. Don't worry. I understand these things. But go ahead and let me know your answers for our question